In a quiet grove near Kapilavastu, Buddha sat cross-legged, the soft rustle of leaves surrounding him. His disciples gathered, their faces illuminated by reverence and curiosity. Among them sat a young father, his brow furrowed, burdened by worry. He bowed deeply before speaking, his voice hesitant, quivering with emotion. "Blessed One," he began, "I am a father, yet my efforts to guide my son lead only to defiance." Buddha's serene gaze met the father's troubled eyes, and he nodded gently, encouraging him to continue. "I teach him to respect elders, to honor truth, and yet, he mocks my words," the father lamented. "He turns away from the virtuous path, and I am left feeling powerless, consumed by fear for his future. When the earth is barren, do you abandon it or do you find ways to restore it?" Ananda shook his head, his voice resolute. "No, Master. I work harder, enrich the soil, and tend to it until it bears fruit again." Buddha tilted his head slightly, his countenance a blend of compassion and wisdom. As he spoke again, "Protection born of fear becomes a chain," he said, "and a caged bird knows not the joy of freedom. It must be cared for with love." Ananda's brow furrowed, confusion shadowing his face. "But, Master, how can I mend the hearts of my wife and son? When anger divides us, anger hardens the soil of the heart." "Dear friend," the Buddha said, his tone serene yet profound, "understanding softens it. Shine your wisdom, but do not compel its bloom." The father raised his eyes again, seeking confirmation, his voice a whisper of doubt. "What do you see when you look at these people, Ananda?" Ananda glanced around and saw faces etched with both sorrow and hope, each carrying their unique burdens. "I see lives marked by struggle, Master," Ananda replied slowly, realization dawning within his words. "Mistakes are their stepping stones." The disciples murmured in agreement, their own experiences reflected in the wisdom Buddha shared. The father, however, struggled to reconcile the fear that gripped his heart with the trust Buddha preached. "I fear losing him, great teacher," the father confessed, his voice breaking, a single tear tracing his cheek. "How can truth mend the fractures of a family, Master?" he asked earnestly. "Truth is often painful." The Buddha's gaze was unwavering. "Pain is the rain that nourishes the seeds of growth." The father wiped his tear with trembling hands, nodding slowly, his heart heavy with change, yet lightened by hope. A bird called from a distant tree, its song a reminder of freedom and the beauty of uncharted skies. "Release your expectations," Buddha said, "and watch your child soar. Let their flight be guided by trust, not chains." The father bowed deeply, his forehead brushing the earth, his voice trembling with gratitude. "I will strive to love as you teach, O enlightened one." Ananda closed his eyes, letting the Buddha's wisdom flow through him. He saw his anger and guilt as the sack he carried. "Remember," Buddha said, "each soul walks its own path. Yours is to illuminate, not to dictate. Let go of anger, and you will find the strength to sow love." Ananda bowed his head, feeling a lightness replace the heaviness in his chest. The father lingered a moment longer, watching Buddha, his presence a wellspring of peace, his teachings a lantern in the dark. Turning, the father walked away, his steps steady, his mind resolved, his heart aglow with the warmth of newfound understanding. The grove stood witness, as it always did, a sanctuary of truth, a cradle of enlightenment, a testament to care. Buddha remained seated, his gaze serene, his being a still point in the turning world, ever illuminating the path. The Buddha watched him depart, his heart at peace. Another day, another restless wander through the narrow streets. Ravi sought meaning but found only emptiness in the crowds. A mother arrived, her face lined with worry, carrying two young children who clung to her robes. She bowed deeply before speaking, her voice trembling. "Great teacher," she said, "I am torn. I discipline my children, yet at times they resent me and grow distant." Buddha opened his eyes slowly, his tranquil gaze meeting hers as he gestured for her to sit and unburden herself. The children nestled beside her, sensing the safety of the sacred space, their eyes wide with curiosity. "What troubles you most?" Buddha asked gently, his voice as soothing as the rustling leaves above them. The mother replied, "I fear my discipline will crush their spirits. Yet I worry that freedom will lead them astray." He cares only for his fields and his pride. The Buddha regarded Ravi with profound compassion, his eyes reflecting understanding beyond words. The mother listened intently, her hands gripping her lap tightly, as though clinging to the hope in his words. "Your children," Buddha continued, "are like rivers. They must find their course, yet require guidance to avoid flooding or stagnation." The elder child looked up, his brows furrowed, as if trying to grasp the significance of Buddha's metaphor. "Yes, Master. The roots must endure the force to keep the tree standing." The Buddha's voice softened, carrying the weight of wisdom. "Your father, dear boy, bears the burden of roots, unseen yet vital, anchoring the family tree." Ravi's anger faltered, confusion mingling with reflection. "Children aspire to reach the ocean of life, guided by the currents you provide." She nodded slowly, her expression a mixture of wonder and apprehension as she considered his teachings. The Buddha nodded slightly, acknowledging the pain in Ravi's words. "Do the roots boast of their labor? Or do they quietly nourish without seeking recognition?" Ravi fell silent, the analogy sinking into his heart, forcing him to confront his assumptions. The Buddha's tone grew tender. "Carrying the burden of silence does not mean love is absent. Young one, your touch nurtures," he said. "Let your discipline be the same. A steadying hand, not a clenched fist." One of the disciples, seated nearby, raised a hand to speak, curiosity written across his face. "Master," he asked, "how does one discipline without control, without fear of rebellion or resistance?" Buddha acknowledged the question with a nod, his response measured and thoughtful. "Discipline through example," he said. "Live the virtues you wish to impart, and your children will mirror them willingly." Why does he not unburden himself to walk freely? The Buddha's lips curved into a faint smile. "Your father, dear boy, carries a sack of pride and pain, refusing to let it go. Imperfection is human," he said. "Let your humility and willingness to learn be the lessons you teach." The reasons are many, born of fear, regret, and love. To release the sack requires courage. "Thank you, great teacher," she said, her voice steadier now. "I will strive to balance discipline with love, to guide as you have shown me." Buddha inclined his head, his smile a beacon of encouragement, as he offered one final piece of advice. "Remember," he said, "to cherish the journey as much as the destination. Parenting is a path of growth for both." The mother bowed low, her children mimicking her gesture, their small bodies folding in unison, their trust evident in the act. Ravi closed his eyes, imagining the fire that had raged within him, realizing the pain it had caused himself. The Buddha's words flowed like water quenching that fire. Buddha closed his eyes once more, returning to his meditation, his presence a constant anchor for those in search of guidance. The grove stood witness to yet another moment of enlightenment, its tranquility undisturbed, its essence enriched by the shared humanity it cradled. Tears welled in Ravi's eyes as he bowed his head, a heavy weight lifting from his chest. "Master, I will try." A young monk approached him, his steps cautious, his head bowed low with respect, carrying the concerns of a distant village. "Master," the monk said, his voice soft yet troubled, "families are torn apart by discord, caught in cycles of control and rebellion." Buddha opened his eyes slowly, his gaze calm and penetrating. As he gestured for the monk to sit beside him. "Describe the struggles you have witnessed," Buddha said, his voice like the gentle flow of a stream, inviting reflection. The monk hesitated, searching for the right words. Then began. "Parents demand obedience. Children resist. And resentment grows, poisoning their bonds." Buddha listened intently, his expression unwavering, as though absorbing the pain carried by the monk's words into his infinite compassion. "What do the parents seek to achieve through their commands?" Buddha asked, his question a quiet echo in the stillness of the grove. The monk replied, "They seek respect, compliance, and assurance that their children will follow the virtuous path." As the river flowed steadily, a shadow fell across her, and she looked up to see the Buddha. His presence was serene, his expression imbued with compassion and understanding as he seated himself beside her. "The cycle of control and rebellion is born of fear," Buddha said, his voice as steady as a mountain. "Parents fear losing their children to the unknown. Children fear losing their identity to control." The monk frowned, his brow furrowing as he asked, "How can this cycle be broken? Master? How can families find harmony?" Buddha leaned forward slightly, his presence drawing the monk deeper into his teachings. As he shared his wisdom, "Fear cannot be conquered by force," Buddha said, "and now you find yourself bound to this place, unable to move forward or return home." "Yes, Master," Mira admitted, her voice quivering. "Control arises from the illusion of possession," Buddha explained. "Parents believe their children belong to them, and children resist this false claim. Do you see this circle, Mira?" he asked, his tone soft but purposeful. Mira nodded, her eyes fixed on the drawing. The grove was silent except for the rustling of leaves. As Buddha's words resonated deeply within the monk's heart. "Compassion allows parents to see their children as individuals," Buddha said, "each walking their own path of discovery. Such is the nature of life and relationships. To break the cycle, you must step outside it." The monk bowed his head slightly, his voice quiet as he said, "Forgiveness is often difficult, Master. Resentment clings tightly to the heart." The Buddha's voice was calm yet firm. "Guilt binds you to the past, and fear binds you to the future. Let it go, and healing begins." The monk breathed deeply, as though releasing a weight he had not realized he carried, and asked another question. "But, Master, how can I face the pain I caused and the pain I endured?" The Buddha regarded her with unwavering kindness. "To face pain is to embrace the truth. Trust is the foundation of all true relationships," Buddha said. "It allows love to flourish without conditions or fear." "I don't know if I have the strength, Master." The Buddha placed a hand on his heart. "Strength lies within. It is born of intention, not avoidance. It grows slowly, like a tree from a seed." The monk bowed deeply, his forehead touching the earth, as he expressed his gratitude. "I will carry your teachings to those in need, Master. I will strive to break the cycle of discord." Buddha inclined his head slightly, his smile a beacon of encouragement, as he offered a final piece of wisdom. "Remember," Buddha said, "each heart is a universe, and each act of love ripples across infinity." The monk rose, his steps lighter, his spirit renewed. As he prepared to depart on his mission of peace, the grove stood witness, as it always did, to the unfolding of wisdom and the transformation of hearts. Buddha returned to his meditation, his presence an eternal source of light, guiding those who sought the path. And so, the message of moving from control to care, from fear to love, spread like the first light of dawn, reaching into the hearts of families near and far. Mira gazed at the flowing river, her mind quieted by the Buddha's wisdom, her heart stirred by his truth. The Buddha rose, his presence as steady as the mountains in the distance. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.